I was really happy with the performance. I felt like I waited a little bit on some of the things, but for the most part, I was kind of surprised that he stood with me as long as he did. I thought he was going to wrestle pretty quick. Him sitting in the pocket and throwing a couple jabs out caught me off guard, especially after I knew once I hit him once, he would probably change his mind, and he didn't. But props to him. Try to stand with me for a little bit, and then when he took the shot, I was ready for it, and do what I do best and put guys away.
How quickly did you know that you had that choke?
Immediately. Once I had my arm all the way sunk around, I knew there was no getting out of it. I didn't know if the time might run out. I didn't know how much time was left, but I knew it was getting down towards the end of it. So as soon as I stepped over, I knew it was over. He was out, I think, quite a while before they actually stopped it. So I knew I had it immediately, but I was just happy to get it before the bell rang.
Did you feel him go limp?
Yeah, I saw his arm go. His arm just went limp, and I saw it physically, and then I could feel him a little bit. But I knew it was out, but I don't stop till the rest stops me, so I'm not going to mess up.
Did you feel any taps? Because I think Stan said he thought he tapped.
I didn't feel a tap. I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I just saw his arm over here just went limp, and I just kept squeezing until I got stopped. But I didn't feel a tap. No.
Okay.
That choke kind of fighter, is it when you know the guy is out, like he's out, like how long are you gonna hold that?
Absolutely. So
it was scary watching on TV.
Yeah, I know. It's a rough thing because I've had fights where they've tapped, I've let go, and the ref didn't stop it. So it's happened to me, personally. So it's one of those where I knew he was out, but some guys play those little games where they'll act, they'll start breathing weird, or they'll do stuff, and then you'll loosen it up, and they'll wake up real fast. So I hate to do it, but really I don't stop until the ref stops me. It just has to be that part, or else I let go early. He starts moving. The fight goes to the second round. You never know what's going to happen. So I hate it. It scares me, but yeah, I don't stop. It's just you can't do it.
On a more positive, positive note, how did it feel having it felt like a main event out there when you came out? How did it feel to you just as a fighter, as someone just
Man, the closest thing I ever had to that was when I was the co-main event in Dublin, Ireland. Conor was the headline the card. The crowd was insane. It was so loud out there. That was one of the coolest experiences I ever had. But this was the closest to it. But this is for me. It wasn't for Gunnar. It wasn't for. That's awesome. Sorry, my teammate just, my bad. Me and Anthony Smith started training together, so yeah.
He was down 2 rounds, I think.
Yeah, he was down 2 rounds and his big head kick. That's awesome. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so, having that crowd, I kept joking around that I was like, man, how am I the second fight of the night? I was like, well, I might be the second fight, but, I'm the main attraction here, that's for sure. I'm the hometown favorite. I've got people traveling from all over the Midwest just to see me. I was really surprised I was only second, but my job isn't to put the fight card together. My job is to get in there and perform, and I took care of work today, so that's all I could do. Yeah.
That guillotine kind of came out of a scramble a little bit. Was that something you improvised, or was that a move you worked on?
So my whole gym, the Glory Gym, me, James Krause, Tim Elliott, we're headhunters. So I've got a good wrestling background, but sometimes you realize that maybe you can't stop the shot, and we have to start draping. We drape for the legs, which I did, and he readjusted really well. So then I draped for the head. So I draped over it. I was grabbing it, his top leg, trying to stop the takedown. He readjusted. I had to make another adjustment, and so I had to go around the head instead, and I draped over, and the choke was there. So it's definitely a move, and situations that we work all the time at Glory MMA. So it was planned, and it happened, and I don't know, just kind of go from there.
You got on the mic there at the end, and it made it seem like you weren't getting the respect that you are deserved. Why so, and what do you feel?
I felt like this is my 8th fight in the UFC. Half people don't know who I am. This is my hometown, and this is the most recognition I've got. It's a little different. Kansas City is not they enjoy it, but it's not like Vegas. It's not like these big fight towns because they never come here. So it's hard to grow a name. And whenever I get taken somewhere else, I'm either overseas or somewhere where a lot of people just don't know who I am. And I feel like people always say, he's this country boy that can take a hard shot, and he's pretty strong. He's big for it's always, he's tough, he can grind, but it's not like, oh, hey, he's a talented fighter, he's very well-rounded. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I got good striking, I'm a collegiate wrestler, I've got all the tools, I really do. And I feel like, I'm not your typical model-looking, six-pack fighter that I don't get the respect I deserve, I really don't. So The only losses I've had are really close losses. I had a weird injury in the Gunnar Nelson fight that honestly kind of caused that loss. I thought I was winning until the eye injury, and then the Ponzinibbio fight was insanely close. It was razor sharp, and I think if I didn't show as much swelling on my face, then it could have went the other way. I think I just looked worse than it really was. There's a lot of just little superficial jabs that landed, and I landed the harder shots, and he was cut and I was swelled up, so it could have went either way. So I just feel like I get overlooked a lot is really all it is. I mean, I just kind of really want to just get some more respect. It's all there. I'm always low on the fight card, first, second fight of the night, or I might be one of the first ones on the prelims. Like, I just, I've been here. I love the company. I mean, I'll do anything for them. Like, start building me. I deserve it.
Did you feel slighted that they put you being the local guy as the second?
Absolutely. I'm not going to say I didn't take it personally, but it hurt my feelings a little bit. I'm like, oh, they're coming here. And I get it, man. They made this card stacked. There's some really good fights on there. I'm like, oh, they had this fight. They had this fight. And I'm like, oh, hell, that means I'm going to be way though, I didn't expect second fight. But, like I said before, it's not my job to put the fight card together. That's, people way above my pay grade do that. But my job is to go out and put on performance, and if I keep doing stuff like this, and that's going to change. And it's, so I just keep doing what I do, and eventually it will change. It has to.
If it was your job, who would you fight next?
I don't care. Anybody top 15. Anybody top 15, or I don't even care that. Someone who's right there about to break top 15. I just want someone ranked above me. I just want to keep moving up the rankings, and I don't want to go backwards. That's all there is to it. So if there's someone who's not in the top 15, but they're doing pretty well and they're right there on the cusp, let me fight that guy. Or if they're in top 15, top 10, I'll step up and fight for a title if I have to. I really don't care. I'm not afraid of anybody in this division. I can hang with anybody. It's a sport. Anybody can win on any given night, but I know I can hang with anybody in this sport. I promise you that.
Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much.